Why is unbelief a very serious thing that the writer of Hebrews had to call it an evil act on unbelief? Why? Because unbelief is not your inability to understand. Unbelief is your unwillingness to trust God. It is a function of the will, not intelligence. People always think intelligence is involved in unbelief. No, it is your will. Unbelief is your unwillingness to trust God. It's a willful thing. It is not just an emotional thing or something that because I didn't understand, I didn't trust. Now let's look at the scriptures. John 20 from verse 24. It says one of the 12 disciples, Thomas, nicknamed the twin. It says, well, not with the that's when Jesus came, they told him, we have seen the Lord, but he replied, I won't believe. Are you seeing my point now? Jesus told them I was going to die. Jesus told them I was going to resurrect. Even if you think it was fast, Mary told you, the people that saw him told you, then your brethren that you were apostles together are telling you. He says, I won't believe it unless I see. 8 days later, as you know, Jesus was with them. Don't be faithless any longer. Believe. But they started with him saying, I won't believe. At the base of every trust issue is the will of man. There are things God has failed you. But the scripture teaches us that we must keep trusting. And when you say God failed me, it may be that we didn't obey him completely. There may be a lot of things at work that you don't know. But when you remember that he says, faithful is he that called you, and he will do it, then you put aside your disappointment, then you launch again into the deep. Imagine if Peter stopped that I've toiled all night and caught nothing. That's where all of us stop most times. He says, but nevertheless at your word. One can truly believe God and yet occasionally be troubled with doubts. It is very possible. You can doubt God's promises when and if your faith is even weak. It is possible. But we can grow our weak faith to a strong faith. But unbelief is not a weakness of faith. It is an opposition to faith. You set your will opposing faith. Tell your neighbor, start believing.